welcome to another episode of Two Old Men in Chairs. I'm Corin Strong.
I'm Howard Appel.
We're going to do a reaction to a new artist to us. It's someone that a number of our people who are commenting have urged us to do, a young man by the name of Samson. Never heard of him?
I haven't.
We don't know too much about him. He appears to be a young man in his 20s. Apparently he's been around a while. And he's got quite a good message. We previewed the song once through just to make sure it was the right kind of song for us. And we think it is. It's called A Quick Word. And we'll go ahead and play it right now.
Every night before I go to sleep, I speak to the man that rules above. He helps get me through these trying times. He guides my way and gets me through the mud. As a mortal man, I put my life in your hands, cause I know you'll do everything to steer me straight. And because of that, a lot of people tell me that I'm wrong, and they act like they're right, but it's clear they ain't. They smear your name, but I fear your reign. Some folks don't know how much you sacrifice, and when judgment day comes, they're gonna be sorry, cause they're all gonna have to pay a massive price. But I won't, cause I live for you. No matter how many of my peers doubt me, every breath I take and every step I make is in your name. That'll never change. Dear Fauci.
Dear Fauci.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a curveball there.
Yeah, so up to this point, up to that last...
You think he's
last
praying to
words.
God,
Yeah,
but actually he's praying to our Lord on this earth.
yeah, and it's pure sarcasm. But, you know, the first few maybe 20 seconds of this, I think I'm looking at some
Jesus
sort of
freak.
a Christian rap, which I think is a genre. And
Yeah,
and he's a straight-laced
and he
little
may
kid.
be, in fact, but what his real target in this one, as we're about to find out, is Mr. Fauci and others like him.
So it turns out the whole first 8 lines here was just a sarcastic.
A little bit of a come
Opening,
on,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's keep her going and see where he goes.
Easter's coming up. Do you think that I could spend it with my loved ones? Maybe open up the window, let the wind blow. Maybe circulate the air, mix it up some. No, I was kidding too. It's just a little joke. I would never disapprove. I already put the chair 6 feet apart and cut a little hole in my mask big enough to get my spoon through. Yup. Yes, my lord. Vaccine cards are gonna get checked at the door. I don't care if my brother, my father, my mother doesn't have it. If they don't, they can go next door. They're not welcome at my table. I don't care if you've already had it. There ain't nothing you can tell me. This is fatal. I ain't buying into the junk that Trump sold you chumps. Fuck your narrative. I'm not gonna help you with your fable.
That was cute. People hadn't thought of just cutting a hole in their mask for their spoon.
Yeah, it reminds me of early on there was a fake mask that was 2 parts, and when you brought your spoon up, it would open up like a clamshell, and then as soon as you brought your spoon out, it would drop down again. Yeah, so he really turned that around, and he's still being extremely sarcastic about, don't worry, Fauci, we're going to follow all your rules. I won't even let my parents in. I don't care if they've already had it. They got to have their vaccine card. And then he's going to continue on that vein.
I'm trying to keep my health stable. They don't even have their booster shots. They're my family and I love them to death, but they're gonna kill me if I let them in. Should I do it or not? And my friend keeps trying to convince me that he's fine cause he's been vaccinated, but it isn't the same. He only got 2 shots. That was 6 months ago. You gotta get free. Now the definition has changed. He gotta stop bitching cause he might need 4. Maybe every quarter of the year there might be more. Why would you ask questions at a time like this? I mean, I could loot a Nike store.
He's so upset he could loot a Nike store. Very, very well done. Very, very sarcastic, but he's portraying, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that's not even a joke for.
There are a lot of people that are consider themselves good people that are actually do fear their own family. Should all that
Fear their own family, feel they have to have a shot. I know a lot of people have had their 4th shot already, and they can't wait for their 5th one probably, because nowadays the shots only last, if they do anything at all, they only last for a month or 2. So they want as many people as possible to take as many shots as possible for reasons that I don't think have anything to do with health.
Yeah, and just flashing on this, I spent the last few days at my daughter's, so I watched some TV I wasn't used to watching. Some cable stuff with my granddaughters and my daughter, Jeopardy and Tim Allen and that sort of thing. But what amazed me was the commercials. A commercial came on, which I assume we're paying as for as taxpayers, with a mother saying how good she felt about vaccinating her 3-year-old. And it was like,
this is why I cannot watch television. If it comes on the radio, I have to change the channel. It's just sickening.
And these are actors that are portraying, this is a great thing. And like I said, I believe we're paying for that.
Sure. so-called public service announcements are oftentimes paid for. And as we know, not only that, the drug companies do a lot of advertising, generic advertising. You know, they sponsor this program, they sponsor that program. And also, beyond that, the government had a program to pay all the news companies to make sure that nothing was ever said against the narrative.
So this woman who's vaccinating her 3-year-old, this 3-year-old has virtually zero chance of getting sick. She's protecting herself, and she's putting her 3-year-old at risk.
Well, if she's getting her 3-year-old, then she probably has the vaccine herself. So
oh yeah, she's protecting herself if only psychologically.
If the vaccines work, why does she need to do the 3-year-old? Doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Yeah, it's promoted on this public service announcement to vaccinate your 3-year-old.
This is why I can't watch TV. It's too sick. Let's go on with Mr. Samson. I like his style.
Talking about natural immunity, vitamin C and capsules of glutamine, water and exercise, going to the gym and eating healthy, zinc and potassium. Ooh-wee. He probably loves Joe Rogan, and that's why his views are inapt. I mean, fucking immune systems? How stupid is that? When have we ever relied on those? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. What? Before 2020? Don't be a dummy. You know that was such a long time ago. This is more than the flu, misfortune and doom. This is apples and oranges, a fork and a spoon. Just two different things that you can't even compare. And if you want to go there, you're a moron if you do. Idiot.
So he's making fun of the person who's trying to tell him, hey, you got a natural immune system. You know, you don't need all these vaccines. You just got to eat right, get exercise, and don't listen to Joe Rogan.
Well, somewhere on my Facebook page, I've said it's deep in probably a couple of years, but I ran across an interview with Fossey from about 2015, 2014, where he's absolutely the most rational person, where he's saying, eat healthy. You know, I call him the wellness Fossey.
Oh, and there's a clip of him, and I don't know the date on it, but it's a clip of him going around where he says, hey, if you've already had the flu, you don't need a vaccination. You know, but apparently that doesn't apply to COVID.
Yeah, he was Mr. Wellness at that time.
Yeah, well, somebody got to him big time.
His own research, he's a doctor too, thinks critically, informs an opinion to the best of his advantage. I mean, I can't even talk to you. Have you not seen the SNL skits? Rest in hell. Piece of shit, don't even go there. I know you've heard the songs with Stephen Colbert. I know you've seen all of those vaccine musicals on the late night shows. How could you not? And if you don't believe those, I don't think that's what Fauci wants.
You know, he's making fun of the believer's source of information is, you know, skits on Stephen Colbert and SNL kits. He's making fun of people that don't get their information that way. Like you and I.
Back in the 80s, man, forget it. I don't care that you got everything wrong back then too. This is like way damn different. I'm willing to give you a second chance and a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Man, I don't like to get into the technical shit. Just tell me how many more injections to get. Gain of function. That's just Republicans saying some dumb shit. I don't count that. Fuck it. It's not about how many mistakes you make. It's when you make a mistake and how you bounce back from it. And you're real fucking good at that. There's so many things that have come to light. You could probably do something horrible like kill a dog and nobody would even... Oh, right.
That's a reference to, of course, Fauci killed a bunch of dogs in his research.
Yeah. And I love the rhyming here. Rhyming function with dumb shit.
Yeah, that's just some Republican dumb shit.
My way of looking at it is evil, as long as one of them doesn't do it with their careless actions. Maskless, ruthless people. It's like folks don't believe in you anymore. All the faith and the trust is gone. I don't care that you put hounds 6 feet deep in the ground. I always root for the underdog. Alright, I'm done fucking around.
Okay, so now he says, I'm done fucking around. So now, for the rest of the song, his true feelings are going to be spoken.
But when you think about it, you know, that was like the Fauci with the doing the experiments on the dogs was kind of suppressed, just like Hunter Biden. All of a sudden, it was gone. We didn't hear any more about it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Everything against the narrative is suppressed. You don't hear about it in the mainstream media at all. I doubt they covered it at all.
Insanity is doing the same thing again and again and then expecting a different result. That's not the exact definition of the word. It was Einstein's, but it makes sense, so it holds. Look, if I was your fitness coach and I was giving you routines to get to your goals, but you kept getting fatter and you weren't getting thinner, would you keep paying for me to assist you? No. Or better yet, what if I was your physician and you came to me with a sickness and I'm supposed to fix it, and I gave you a bunch of prescriptions and they didn't work over the course of 2 years? Would you find someone different? I think there's a good chance you would, and if you wouldn't, guess what? It's your choice, and that's the good thing about living in America. At least until now, you had a voice. This has been a pain in the ass for everybody. It's really been a bitch from the start. But how many times you gotta get fucked before you realize they don't have your best interests at heart?
Good question, huh?
Yeah, very profound.
How
And,
many times
and the
did you get
significant,
fucked over?
like I said, he shifts his mood and his mode and moves to an outdoor environment too, with a nice blue sky and clear water.
Yeah, and at the very end, he wasn't even hardly rapping. He was just talking. Very powerful, very well done. And thank you to those who have suggested that we do Mr. Samson. I'm sure we were going to do more of him because he's got a very nice style and a very good message.